those memes, for those memes, because today we are covering some more of that Pop Team epic before Twitch scares me. It didn't scare me that time. So as we know, last week was the epitaph of anime. I would say epitaph is actually the wrong word to use, because it means it's basically dead. we saw the anime reach its high point like 3 times in the space of like 2 days at that point. So we were in good hands at that point, I think. We saw anime peak quite a bit. We saw the same thing twice. But one of them happened to be voiced by Abuto, also happens to be Yaniga Hada from Sangatsu. The second one actually was the proper version, but both was meme. It was meme. It was top tier memes. So, what will episode 2 of Pop Team Epic actually deliver on? I have zero freaking idea, because at this point you have to kind of go into these things blind, because who knows? Who knows what memes we will get? Because boy, did we get some memes last week. Memes. I like the first set a lot more as well. Only because it's Abuto from Gintama. It was just the greatest thing ever. I was like, oh my god, it's actually Abuto. It's the greatest thing in the world. Ah, Jesus. Okay, anyway. So, without further delay, I should say the words correctly. Without further delay, let's get a show on the road. So, in 3, 2, 1, let's begin this thing now. Also, this OP is quite the banger. I like how much not of a toss this anime gives. It just doesn't give anything. Just like, we do what we want. That is OP is quite the banger. I mean, no. The problem is Devil no Yuta. Devil no Yuta is the banger of the century. It's like Man Human is the slaps of the century. I mean, nothing can ever beat those 2 songs at this point. Those 2 songs are peak. They're peak songs. Though I'd say the new opening Gintama comes a close second to being the most banger OP of the year. And the year's just started. I know. I was thinking to myself. I remember Gintama did this ages ago, but still, it's still funny. It's like the greatest show ever made. That's the problem. That's what it is. It's the greatest show ever made. At this point, I don't even think the animators know what the hell this show even is. It's just what it is, I think. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've seen this song before, haven't I? I've seen this song, but I do not know where I've seen this, but I've seen it. It's making a reference to something. Because originally I thought, is it taking a piss out of Haruhi Suzumiya? Because the dance is very similar to the dance at the end. You have to go and watch. It shows that effing incredible. Oh man, it's not over, by the way. I just realised. I was like, wait, is it over already? Got me again. This show did. It got me again. I think it must be 2 separate episodes just to compile it together. It must be how it works. This show is definitely incredible. I don't even know how it even came from, but I'm so glad it exists. I mean, yeah, the joke at the beginning basically was made by Gintama like 7 years ago, I think. Like, I think it was made like 7 years ago. The whole thing with the animation just gave up, and it just like it becomes the storyboard. But it's still effing hilarious. Isn't there a campaign that actually turns into a manga? The actual idol section. They did. They did take it one step further, I think. No, the part with the recording studio was the best bit. That bit was incredible. The fact they got everything down to a T was absolutely incredible as well. They switched the voices again! They switched the voices! Is Alberto's back? Alberto's back. And Alberto's not back. Damn it. I thought Alberto was back for a second. I thought, yes, Alberto's back. But it's not the same thing each time. I think it's basically they change it every single time. They keep on changing it. It's actually pretty great. So I guess it subverts the idea of it being the exact same thing twice, because it just changes it ever so slightly each time. It's one of those ones you have to keep on your guard to actually see it. Because you might think, oh, it's the exact same thing when it actually isn't. It's changing it each time. Oh man, we actually hear them both sing as well. I kind of wish it was Alberto again now. I love how much the animators just don't care. Just don't. It's amazing. Oh, I love this show. I know it's just the same thing again and again, but it just works. I don't know. I can't actually make you understand it because it shouldn't work, but it works so well. It works so goddamn well. The fact of how it's just done, it makes total sense that you would see the exact same thing twice. I needed that after Sangatsu actually. Sangatsu made me cry, just made me laugh my ass off. I am so glad this show exists on a Saturday. This is what we need. This is what we need. This is what we need on a Saturday. Oh man, this show is brilliant. I was like at the beginning, is that a goddamn Friends reference? Because it made a I swear I made a Scooby-Doo reference, and it made a I swear it made a not Terminator reference, a Die Hard reference, and then it made, I think, a Taxi Driver reference afterwards. It's like trifecta or quadfecta? I don't even know. Whatever it did, it did some good things. But man, oh man. Oh boy, you just want you're in for a ride for this episode as well, to be honest. Like episode 1's just the start. Episode 2, boy, it gets more and more surreal. But man, this show just works. This show just effing works. I don't understand what it is and how it does it, but this show effing works. The comedy is on point. It has the correct punchline. It just makes you just. Oh man, the whole thing with the live action scene, it was comedy gold. Boy, it worked. That's the idea. I think the whole thing with the second episode basically being the first episode again. Well, not actually no, basically the second part being an episode again, just with different voices. It works in the context of how it's done, that it kind of changes ever so slightly some of the events. It kind of does in theory warrant you watching it again. But at the same time, I can honestly say it might be better just to separate them and put them on different days. Like put maybe one on Wednesday and one on Saturday, just to kind of even it out, because otherwise you're seeing the same thing twice. But it does in theory change ever so slightly to the point you actually do in theory you get a different experience both times. It actually does in theory warrant to actually kind of watch it again. So it does work. I can see where people might kind of go, why did I play the exact same episode twice? But it does in theory kind of work, I think. But yeah, I mean, damn. Saying beforehand, it's just the punchlines. The punchlines are fantastic. The whole bit with the beach section was hilarious because it just happens like that. It works so well. I just can't understand how they're doing it, but it works so well. And the live actions, I said it beforehand, was comedy gold. But just the way it was done, it works like perfect. It's just perfect. They nailed the reference down to a T, and especially the second half with the girl and then both of them inside the actual girl's mouth. It just works incredibly. It just works. To quote the King Crimson meme, it freaking works. It just works. It works incredibly well. It shouldn't do in its entirety, but it does. Because Popped in Epic is the kind of cream of the crop of anime. It is at this point. It's anime times 2. Man, I'm so glad this show exists. I'm absolutely so glad this show exists. I don't know how to actually kind of just wrap up my thoughts on it, because it just kind of just does everything. Like, even the animation's really freaking good, which is actually a surprise. I thought, oh, the animation will be terrible. I think that's actually probably would be the gag, but still. I thought, oh, like, maybe it will be kind of terrible, but no, the animation's really freaking good. Like, man. I want more of the live action segments. The live action segments are fantastic, just because it's incredibly meta, but it works. I know. Yeah, I know. They're also goddamn simple. They actually kind of very go crazy on it, but they do freaking go crazy on it. But I mean, more stuff with the director would be fantastic, I must say. Like, it's just. Also, the director's fantastic, just because it's so hilarious. I mean, yeah, I can see the fact that Gintama made a reference like 7 years ago, but still, it's one of those jokes that actually works each time you actually do include it, because it's one of those ones that if you see the storyboards, you all burst out laughing, because it's one of those things that you're not meant to see. So when you do see it, it's actually kind of comedy gold. Oh man, I need to go read Reddit and see what Reddit said. Now, Reddit's I need to see. I mean, damn, Popped in Epic's on the front page as well. Boy, it's there. Oh, man. Jesus Christ, this show is absolutely fantastic. Oh my god! It's actually made an Abyss reference in there. I didn't realise until the second time around. It's actually made an Abyss reference. Huh, when do you know? I didn't see that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank God for this show's existence. I think the show is actually needed on the day it's actually premiered. It just works. It so freaking well. Oh, man. So, yeah. There we are. Popped in Epic for another week. We've witnessed basically just memes once again, but the memes were good. The memes aren't, like, really bad memes. They're good memes. They're top-tier memes. They're wholesome memes. They are the cream of the crop of memes. Of memes. So, yeah. With all that said, I have indeed been a driver. If you have enjoyed this whole entire stream on Twitch, then do leave a follow, because indeed it does help quite a bit. If you have enjoyed what I do here on YouTube and you want to leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed it does help quite a bit. If you want to stay a little bit longer because you enjoyed what I do here, then do leave a sub, because indeed it does help quite a bit. But until Darling in the Franks, which has probably been about 25 minutes, I shall see you guys later. Bye for now.